Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail and Kale, and this is my Brooks Ghost Max review. So this is the latest running shoe from Brooks. Now, although it's called the Ghost, it is a very different running shoe from the Ghost 15, which I reviewed up here. Now, a lot of people are really going to love this shoe. And also, I think some people are just probably going to stick with the Ghost 15, and I will go over why in this review. But I'm going to start off by listing some of the key features of this shoe, but also who the shoe is really for, and that's what I'm going to start with now. So this is a highly cushioned running shoe from Brooks, and I'll just go as far as saying it's probably the most cushioned running shoe from Brooks right now. It's got a huge stack here of DNA V2 cushioning, which is just awesome by the way. It feels like a cloud when you're running in it. But it's also got stability, and I'm going to go into how it's got the stability as well as cushioning in just a little bit. Now the shoe is primarily for everyday training runs, but also long runs. Yes, because it's got all the cushioning, it's got some responsiveness, and it's got stability as well. So it really is perfect for those everyday runs, just getting your mileage in, but also if you're training for a marathon or half marathon, things like that, because it just handles distance really well, and it's super fun as well. I will say, because it's got all the cushioning and stability, this is going to be an awesome shoe for anyone who's heavier than average or maybe a larger build than average, because you've got all that cushioning and shock absorption in the midsole. It's really going to be a really good everyday running shoe for you. And DNA V2 foam is really durable as well, so it keeps that energetic return for much longer. So it's a really good choice, a very worthy investment for you guys. And because it's got cushioning and stability thanks to the broad or wide outsole, it's also very good for walking as well. What's the fit like? Well, it's very much true to size. It is a medium width. There is also a wide and an extra wide version available. If you need either one of those wide versions, then follow a link in my description. They'll take you to those versions too. So if you've got average width feet or maybe narrow feet, these are going to be really good for you. But like I said, you can also get a wide version if you need it. Right, time to go over some of the key specifications quickly. So it weighs 10.2 ounces, which isn't the lightest running shoe out there, but when you think about how much cushioning, protection and stability you get in this shoe, it really doesn't feel that heavy. I mean, you've got such a thick midsole that you'd expect it to be much heavier, and actually when you're running in it, you don't feel the weight. And to be honest, it's only 0.2 ounces more than the Ghost 15, so it's not even that heavy. The drop from heel to toe is 6 millimeters. Now that's very interesting because the Brooks Ghost 15 had an 11 millimeter drop, which was one of my downsides of that shoe. I kind of like a lower drop. It just feels more natural to me. So I really love how the Ghost Max has got a nice 6 millimeter drop. That's very comparable to Hoka running shoes and even On running shoes. Now, when it comes to support, it is very much neutral in the footbed, so there's no kind of arch or additional arch support in there or anything like that. But the actual geometry of the shoe does have support in terms of reducing lateral roll and any pronation that you might get. So it's a very stable shoe. If you're new to running, or you just really like not having to worry about rolling your ankles and you want a shoe to do a little bit of that stability work for you, then this shoe is one of those. If you're enjoying this review, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. The cushioning, of course, is maximum, so that's the most cushioning that Brooks is going to offer. You're going to get that in the shoe. Super plush, very fun to run in. It's pure joy, in fact. And it's just one of those shoes that just works. It just feels great. I just didn't have anything bad to say about it when I was running. When I review shoes and I'm testing them, when I'm actually running in the shoes, I'm actually really trying to think about what I'm liking about this shoe and what I'm really not liking. How it compares to competitors at the moment. All this stuff's running through my mind whilst I'm running. And really not much came up in terms of bad things about this shoe. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to tell you in this review is going to be good. And then finally, the price is $150, which I'm just going to tell you now, that's an incredible price for a running shoe like this. You get a heck of a lot of running shoe out of a Brooks Ghost Max, and $150 is a lot cheaper than some of the competitors for this shoe right now. And that brings me to the competitors for the Brooks Ghost Max right now. So I've actually got one here because I recently reviewed it. This from On Running is the On Cloud Eclipse. It's their latest running shoe. Damn good shoe, directly comparable in my opinion. Very similar stack height in the midsole. Kind of a similar upper as well, but this is a much wider shoe. Like I said, with the Ghost Max, you can get two different wide versions of this as well. Yeah, very similar shoes. Then if you are interested in Hoka, for example, maybe look at the Clifton 9. Very similar shoe, nicely cushioned, great for beginners. Love that shoe. And then from Nike, maybe the Invincible 3 would be quite similar as well. Do you have a favorite Brooks running shoe? What is it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll even let you know what mine is. Moving on very quickly then, I'm going to go through some of the key features that I really like and I think are worth talking about with the Ghost Max. And then I'm going to offer up some suggestions about how the running shoe could be improved, ready for the Ghost Max 2 next season. Okay, first off, I'm going to start by talking about the DNA V2 foam in the midsole, and the midsole as a whole really, because that is really what makes this shoe shine. It is just how amazingly plush and cushioned it is, but also it's got a few other tricks up its sleeve. Number one is that it's got a very broad base. So it's got a very wide outsole underneath the midsole. Now what that does is give the shoe extra stability when you're running, so it helps reduce things like lateral roll and any pronation that you might get whilst running. The other trick it's got is that it has a rocker silhouette or rocker geometry. And what that means is it rocks throughout your stride really effortlessly and just helps you go from landing to toe off really smoothly. It makes your stride as smooth as possible. It does that really well. Most of a rocker is at the forefoot of the shoe, so you don't really get much at the rear here. Although if you were to really heel strike, you would be hitting that rocker at the back, and then it would be rolling off at the front really nicely. So that rocker geometry really helps with the responsiveness of the shoe, but the DNA V2 cushioning is just really nice. And so far it's been holding its shape really well. Which means the durability is going to be very good in this foam. It's going to last longer than some of the competitor shoes out there that I've been running in lately. And it's just a real joy to run in. It is literally like running on clouds. Even though this isn't an on-running shoe, it's got the similar cloud-like feeling to it. Next feature I really like is the breathable upper material. It's an engineered mesh, and hopefully if you can see here, it's really nice. It's very breathable, hugs your foot. The lacing system is classic in its appearance, but it just works really well, cinches down nicely over your feet. And the upper, because it's so flexible and soft, it just wraps around your feet really nicely, keeps it snug. And because it's breathable, you're able to regulate temperature within the shoe really nicely as well, so it's comfortable whilst you're running inside the shoe. Throughout this video I'm going to be putting images up here of me running in the shoes and closer photography of some of the features that I'm actually talking about to give you a closer look at that. The final feature that I really like then is the outsole. The rubber compound, which you can see in the green areas, is very sticky, grippy. There's plenty of traction pattern texture on here that grips in very nicely. And like I said, it's very broad underneath, which gives you stability whilst you're running, which I really like. So Brooks has done a really nice job with the outsole. If you're wondering what the white section is, that's just an extension of the DNA V2 midsole foam. They only put the traction or the rubber compound in places where you would be expected to have ground contact. Because that compound is heavier than the foam, so brands tend to do that so that they reduce weight of the overall shoe. So then the only real improvements I've got for the Brooks Ghost Max are that I'd like it to be just a touch lighter and maybe a little bit less bulky. I mean, if you're used to the Brooks Ghost line, maybe the 15, if you've just bought that, then you'll know, or you'll notice that it's a lot less bulky than this shoe. But that's because it's a more responsive shoe. It's kind of got a better balance between response and cushioning because it doesn't have quite as much cushioning overall. This shoe has full cushioning, I mean, all the way to the max. This is just crazy, and you really feel it. So if you love that plush feeling underfoot, if you want to get nice easy miles in, then this really is the shoe for you. But if you want to be stepping up your speed and have a little bit more of a balance, sacrifice a little bit of comfort for more speed, then you're going to want to go for the Brooks Ghost 15 instead. If you look at my full review on trailandkale.com, I'll put a link up here. I've got a full comparison of this shoe with the Ghost 15, so you can look between the two and then see which one might be best for you. I've also listed more competitors out there or alternative running shoes that would be a good choice if you didn't want to go for this one in particular. So that's really it from me. This is a really good running shoe. I am actually going to keep this one so that I can run my long runs in it. It's definitely in my running shoe rotation. If you've been following the channel for a while, or if you've just recently joined, maybe you saw my On Cloud Eclipse review. Very similar shoe, like I said before. I'm also keeping this shoe. This is in my long run rotation or recovery run, as well as the Ghost Max. Absolutely loving both those shoes, so I'm just going to keep them both and have fun with them. So this is very much a cushioned running shoe for those long runs, or maybe you've got larger than average build and you need the extra cushioning and support from your running shoe. This is going to be a great choice for you as well. Now, is it worth $150? Yes, absolutely it is. You get a hell of a lot of shoe. It's a very durable shoe as well, so you're going to be using this for many, many miles. And it's very versatile because, like I said before, it's got all that cushioning and it's got the stability from the wide outsole base. So it's a very good walking shoe as well as a running shoe. So you can use this all day long, standing around all day, or if you just enjoy long walks, or you need to get your long training runs in. This shoe can do it all for you. So I really do recommend it. It's worth $150 easily. And that's one of the things I really like about Brooks, is they really do make running accessible. They make really well thought out, well designed, well built running shoes, and they sell them at a very good price. So I really like what Brooks is doing. They're making running accessible to a wide variety of people, and I just love that. So can't recommend it enough. Thumbs up for me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again, see you next time.